I had never intended to catch a fox, but it's not like I'm gonna make it go to waste. So let's cook this guy up. Probably turn it into a meal and we'll do a catch and cook fox. Why not, right? You take what nature gives you and you make a meal out of it. Catch it, you kill it, you eat it. I can already feel the hate brewing about this video. Well, we got a couple traps set. I have to wait till tomorrow to come check. These animals are nocturnal, so they're not going to be moving too much during the day. Well, mostly nocturnal. The hare don't go and hide. But they do move around quite a bit more at night, so we'll check back, see what we get. Alright guys, first set, and I wasn't expecting this. I got myself a bycatch. I got myself a fox. A red fox, you can see by the tail. Fairly common around here, not as common as a snowshoe hare. So the question is, what am I gonna do with a red fox? I was not expecting that. So what are you gonna do? It's just part of the business. So I'm not gonna let this guy go to waste. I'll probably have him skinned out and tanned. I think I'll probably turn it into a meal and we'll do a catch and cook fox. Why not, right? You take what nature gives you and you make a meal out of it. So you catch it, you kill it, you eat it. Simple as that, guys. Yeah. Nice little red fox. Cleaning that guy was a lot harder than I thought. All right, we need a fire going. Didn't expect me to talk to the camera, did you? As a general rule, when you start your fire, you want to start off small with your tinder, and then you want to have some kind of something that will hold the ignition. So that's the birch bark, and on top of that, you're going to add small twigs. So you could even start this small, but it's going to take a long time for that to get going into bigger and bigger. But stuff about this size and dry, so it should make a nice sound when you pop it. I can already feel the hate brewing about this video, and I can certainly understand where you're coming from. I would have never considered eating a fox before I caught one. I'm being careful how I say this because I was going to go out and shoot a coyote, because coyote are plentiful out here. Not to say that fox aren't, but coyote run amok, and if they're not kept in check and balance, then they destroy the deer population. But fox have been eaten historically. You know, we look kindly upon our history of the Native American people and how they cared about the land and how they respected the land. But Native Americans ate fox. I have historical documents that I've dug up, but they talk about how the fox, the red fox in particular, was revered for its fur, but they still ate it. Because when nature gives you something, you don't refuse. And nature gave me a fox. I asked for a hare, it gave me a fox. And so who am I just to discard what nature gives me because I feel a certain way about the animal? Maybe how I feel about that animal isn't the right way. And there are many cultures around the world who look at the foods that we eat. Let's take the cow, for example, which is sacred in certain countries. And then those same countries might eat something like a dog or a cat, and we might wonder why they would do such a thing. But we don't live in those cultures, so we don't know what it's like. And until you put yourself in the same shoes, and lived a day in their life, or a week, or a year, or 2 years, it's difficult to realize what it's like to consume daily the kinds of foods that they do, and for the reasons that they do. Okay, I didn't have to switch over. And you can be patient about this, catch your breath. There's no rush here. Now he's going into our tinder bundle. All in one shot. Okay, let's go back here. And there we go. Okay, we're going to transfer it to our birch bark over here. We have a little bit of crisis because we have fire going everywhere. Let's use this one instead. And let's get this thing going. Now, when you have a small new fire, don't be afraid to feed it a lot of food. So there's not much we can do as far as cooking while this fire burns down, but we can talk about how fox were historically used by Native Americans. You might not think they were used by them as food, but they in fact were. And there's some pretty interesting ways in which Native Americans actually trapped them. You know, we think that Native Americans were respectful, and they were, just as we are of the animals that we consume. But they were more, let's say, hands-on. They would use things like snares and spring pole traps. They would also, if available, and they could, would club them, you know, simply with a paddle. They would also, you know, as natives or as Europeans moved in, they adopted the metal traps, so they were able to trap them that way. To some tribes, they were only used as emergency food, as you can expect. The Inuit, in particular, could only hunt them, you know, with metal traps and snares and whatnot at night, because of the cycle, the daily cycle of light would be completely dark at night, so they couldn't hunt. They didn't have the visibility to go out and hunt, so they could set traps and go out and catch them. You know, most of the uses of fox were limited. You know, they would only consume them in limited quantity versus other animals for obvious reasons. It kind of turns our stomach the wrong way when we think about eating a predator. But as I've learned, and I've come to learn, that meat is meat. And if it's something that's given to me, that I should take it and respect and honor that animal by putting it to full use. Well, that looks like meat. I'll be sure to let you know if I get the trichinosis. Now, this is the first time eating dog. Let's be honest, that's what it is. Wow. That's actually really good. The fox had a faint smell to it, you know, like animal, distinctive smell, one that had never smelled before. So, you know, it's hard to say if, well, it's hard to describe, I should say. It's a red meat, Geez, I don't know what to say about it. It's good. It's like, you don't need a knife. You can literally just break it apart. Let's get rid of the knife and I'll show you. You can literally just pull it apart. That's good meat. One of the best meats I've had. Fall off the bone tender. Very good. There's a couple pieces of hair on there. Meat's very moist. I would highly recommend preparing it like that. If you can eat a carnivore, make sure that you cook it well. So yeah, I'd recommend eating dog. Nothing wrong with fox meat, guys. Alright, so that's going to conclude my experiment on catch and cook a fox. You can definitely catch and cook a fox. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this meat. There's absolutely no reason I wouldn't recommend eating fox. And you know, I've eaten lynx before now, so I've eaten cat and dog. There's nothing wrong with the meat. It's only cultural norms that are telling us what's right and what's wrong. Some people like to make the argument that, you know, you're making a living off killing. Well, I'm not making a living off killing. I'm making food from killing. And if you exist on this planet, you kill. Even plants kill other plants. You know, let's take the example of a black walnut real quick. Parting words. A black walnut will release toxins such that no other plant can grow below it. It literally kills other plants. Plants kill other plants. Plants kill. Because the walnut tree exists, it kills. There's other trees like vines will climb a tree, choke out the tree completely so that it can't get any sunlight, weigh it down, pull it over, kill it. But killing to keep yourself alive is part of the reason we exist. To reproduce. To live enough to reproduce. So guys, if your objective is to live long enough to reproduce, eat. And to eat, you gotta kill. It's just a fact of living on this planet, guys. Just a fact. This meat's really good. Sear it. Season it. Wrap it. Bake it. I'm out. Cheers, guys. Thanks for joining me.